I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent, but I swear that it's relevant to the title. Hang on, isn't a relevant tangent just a paragraph? Anyways, this is Celeste, one of the most popular speed games of all time. Fluid mechanics and unique level design make for new challenges almost every room. The difficulty of the casual experience immediately gets overshadowed by the lunacy of speedrunners. Even when you aren't pushing the skill ceiling even higher, it's just a fun game to play fast. Things that come naturally on your casual run are instantly thrown out the window when speed is involved. It's fantastic, and if you somehow haven't tried it already, I recommend it earnestly. I'd even recommend the Strawberry Jam mod pack, which, while infinitely more difficult, is just as rewarding, if not more so. I've beaten every lobby up to expert, in which I've almost unlocked the heart side. I'm really close. If you know what that means, please wish me luck. So yeah, Celeste is a pretty odd... oh, shit. I died. Well, that sucks. It's probably going to take me a while to get to that room again. Man, I was having a lot of fun, too. I mean, let me unpause the game. Let me see how much time I lost. Oh, that's a relief. I was worried I'd have to jump through many arduous and inconvenient hoops in order to reattempt this enjoyable game. Wouldn't it suck if there were a game like that? Oh, awesome, you're still watching. Yeah, I tried to do like an H-Bomber guy sort of intro where I talk about something that doesn't seem super relevant before I get into the actual point of the video. I'm glad you got here. You know, that shows tenacity. Good job, buddy. Good job. Anyways, Monster Hunter Wilds is a game where if you die, it takes you an hour to restart. That's not hyperbole. That is a fact. How can that be so? Well, Monster Hunter is not designed as a speed game in the slightest. It's an RPG, or action RPG, it doesn't matter. It's not a speed game. That much is clear. But through a combination of the hunters wanting something to do when the grinding is done, as well as Capcom publishing quests with rewards for fast times, a small sect of speedrunners was born. Now what I'd love to be able to say about this is that no matter what sort of arbitrary requirement there is, Speedrunning Wilds is so fun that you should try it anyways. But it's bullshit. That's bullshit. It really sucks. It sucks like a lot. So, before I make my case for why you should try it anyways, let's go over every reason Speedrunning Wilds sucks. Now this is not a video talking about the mechanical shortcomings of Wilds. I am nowhere near qualified to give a take on that yet. Instead, I'm complaining about everything needed just to start a speedrun attempt. It's very possible I'm having a new runner yells at cloud moment, but when the cloud keeps striking you with lightning, I think it's only fair to be a bit fussy. I'll be using the only way of conveying opinions on YouTube, a tier list, to rank how reasonable each requirement is. First is non-issues, which are requirements that are completely fine. Stuff like completing the main story and HR requirements go here. Many speed games are able to be played right out the box, so that is worth mentioning, but it's not like you have to replay the whole game just to speedrun. It's one and done. I also think that getting your weapons and armor aren't annoying. Sure, when you're changing weapons, it could take you a bit, but you're playing Monster Hunter. That's fun. You're gonna have fun with that. You're playing Monster. That's a fun thing. We then move on to the reasonable tier, which are things that may take time, but I never found annoying. I'll start off with a somewhat hot take. The mantle cooldown after a hunt is fine. I've lumped it in with restocking you have to do, because like 5 minutes after a good hunt that I have to wait before doing another good hunt is just like good mental health. Like that is a healthy thing to do, is to take 5 minutes. And if I really want to keep grinding, this only happens after you fully complete a quest. So if I abandon a quest that's going poorly, I can just immediately restart. Next is getting all the buff items. The vast majority of buffing items are farmable through the Skyblock minion Nada, who just barfs out resources. Except for one item I'll touch on later, you almost always have what you need. Lastly is the investigation system. While sometimes you can get really unlucky not finding what you need, it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, if we're talking about 5-star tempered monster investigations, that's another story. Oh my god, it has taken me over an hour to find just 1 to 5-star tempered Mutsutsune quest. That was not a bit during this video, and this video was not exaggeratory. This is just how it is. That's just how it is, and it sucks. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. The only reason this is not in the bottom tier is because there are monsters that you fight through arena challenges, which don't require the investigation system at all. So, if you only want to fight something like AT Raidao, you're set. Or Zoshia is also pretty favorable, because you don't have to deal with tempered. Yeah, it's fine. Those two monsters, bring it up to this tier. That's literally it. Now on to minor inconveniences, which is anything that has annoyed me in my process of learning to speedrun. Decorations go here. While it's pretty easy to get all the decorations you need, specific combinations for specific weapons can really be a drag. You might have power prolonger, but does it have handicraft? And you might have dragon attack up, but does it have slugger? You get the point. Next up is... What the fuck is this? Hang on. Okay. Editor, make that bigger. Editor, make that... Oh, okay. Yeah, I accidentally put a map that I drew for my brother in here. That's very... No, this is not a subscriber plug. Yeah, this probably should have never been conceived of, so let's move that down a tier. The last minor inconvenience is specifically Mega Demon drugs. The nourishing extract that Mega Demon drugs require only drops from 2 large monsters and in very limited quantities. The Hunter's Notebook claims that Shia drops them. This is a lie. I have fought over 100 of them and it never dropped once, and I really wanted them, and The actual most efficient way to get these is to go murder random birds like it's a Hollow Knight low percent challenge. Alright, I referenced Celeste at the start, and then I reference Hollow Knight now. Specific Hollow Knight categories, so that's a bonus. So I'm definitely at my quota this video. So yeah, getting drugs is difficult, and that's a bad thing, and you can quote me on that. Next, yeah. These are things I genuinely do not understand their purpose. First up is Arshan weapons. Kind of a cold take. Nobody likes these things. And honestly, the reroll system definitely makes speedrunning not worth it. But the reason it's not in that category is because it makes trying new weapons incredible. It has never been easier to think, I want to try Gunlance, and then within 5 minutes, you're blowing things up. It's great. It's awesome. That alone keeps it out of the bottom tier, but if Capcom just made the Arshan weapons like 20% weaker, I would have zero problems with them, because then they're not the optimal build. You have Arshan weapons as your way to try new weapons, and then if you actually like the weapon, you craft the monster part weapon, and you commit to that weapon. I don't think that's a difficult ask. I mean, Title Update 2 could do this. It should do this. Also, why isn't Title Update 2 here already? What's wrong with June, huh? I haven't played Try. Is the guy Chris homophobic or something? Random bugs. I've lost about like 1 to 2% of runs I've ever done to a random bug. Jindahad starts tweaking, Gormagala starts tweaking, Shia starts tweaking. There's no joke here. It just sucks. Like, is it the end of the world? No, but why is this in the game? It shouldn't be. Now for the 2 worst things in the game. One of which I'm not quite at the skill level to struggle with, and the other that is mandatory no matter what your skill level. We'll start with the one I'm less familiar with, Tempered Wounds. When you start a hunt, a monster will have a random assortment of Tempered Wounds. Breaking Tempered Wounds gives you a large punish window on most monsters, so, depending on where your wounds were randomly placed, you might not be able to achieve a top time, and as such need to restart. On its own, this is bad, but probably not world-shattering. I mean, it probably goes mid-tier, right? But according to this report by Boosted, the patterns Tempered Wounds appear in might be tied to your save file. So there's the possibility that you have worse odds of an optimal pattern than other players. Or worse, the pattern you need could be impossible. And in either scenario, you would have to play through the entire game again and get all of the other requirements on your save file just to attempt certain hunts and find out if you got the certain patterns that time. I'm not super informed on this system, and maybe I misinterpreted something, but I mean, if I'm right, that's just awful. But I could be wrong, so let's say you have a perfect save file, and you just have to reset a normal amount of times to get a good pattern. Still sucks, but doable. But now you have to combine that with every other system in the game. So imagine combining that with a tempered investigation. You just spent 30 minutes resetting for a quest, and you finally get one. But within the 4 investigation attempts, you didn't get a single good pattern, and you're forced to look for a different monster. That's pretty shit. But now combine that with HP rolls. That's the final thing. That's the thing I didn't add yet. Every time you start a quest, a monster will have a random health pool. So if you want an optimal time, you need the lowest HP roll possible. Now, for my understanding, that's only a 10% chance. So when you put together the HP rolls, the tempered wound placements, the Arshan weapon rolls, the random bugs, the decorations, the tempered 5-star investigations, you create a completely unreasonable experience that I cannot recommend to anybody. I really wish I didn't have to complain about any of this, because I think that just by showing gameplay, I can prove how fun this game is to speedrun. I mean, look at this. There's amazing fights here. You struggle to beat them at first, and then the monster struggles to even hit you later on. And you don't just win by learning every move a monster has, because you're not just trying to beat it, you're trying to go as fast as possible. So you gotta know how the moves string together, you gotta know what your best response is. If you see a roar coming, you gotta think, okay, how can I interrupt that? There's so many cool things here. And other series might have comparable combat, but you can't really speedrun Elden Ring without learning the whole game. I don't even need to know every weapon for Wilds. I just pick a monster I want to hunt and boom. Attempt 1 start. Or at least that's what it would be if I didn't have to do all this. So how can I say in the title that I want you to speedrun this game? Well, I mean, the first option is just to play a different Monster Hunter. Many veteran hunters seem to have the opinion that games like Rise are even better to speedrun than Wilds. Well, what they actually say is that Wilds is trash, but let me cope, okay? Well, here's the issue, is that Wilds lowered the skill ceiling, and I haven't hit the skill ceiling yet, so it doesn't affect me because I'm a new player. Okay, my perspective is wide enough to recognize that there are issues with this game, but my attention span is short enough to where I'm going to enjoy it until I inevitably hit that ceiling. So you just, look, if you think that, oh, this game is bad, you should play a different game, then give it 2 months and maybe I'll agree with you, all right? And I'll start drinking your Kool-Aid. Fair? Capiche? But I don't want to recommend a different Monster Hunter game, although I do. Like, they're awesome. But I can't speak as to whether you should speedrun them, because I've never speedran them, I've just played them. But playing them's awesome, go play them. I want to find a way to recommend speedrunning Wilds to you, specifically, you watching this video right now. Not in 10 years when the DLC drops, but now. What could possibly fix Wilds that soon? That shit, you didn't change it, that's the same game as oh. Yeah, I sincerely apologize to the console players out there. Look, I wish there was a way to pet Poogie 50 times on a full moon and fix everything, but hey, look at all the stuff I can take out thanks to the mods. I mean, nothing really to be done about those two. I mean, I don't know how you'd even manage that. But when it is just those two, I could recommend this game, seriously. Now, is this cheating? Yes, but like, if you don't do this, it's a full-time job. And so, yeah, maybe this is cheating, but it's not like there's a victim here. It's not like competitive Pokemon. There's not another human being I'm competing against that their experience is hampered because they had to spend all this time to speedrun and I didn't. The only thing I'm competing against is the clock, so I don't feel bad in recommending something that just improves the quality of your life. I mean, again, this would be like a full-time job just to get like a couple runs done. I'm not joking. I can prove that. I will prove that. That's a good video idea. I just do this, but with Monster. I'm gonna do this, but with Monster Hunter. Wait for that. It'll happen eventually after I finish Deltarune. Don't spoil it. I haven't played it. I haven't gotten there yet. The save files reset. Why did they do that? No, I just referenced Deltarune. No, my game quota. Oh God, I'm going over the limit. But yeah, don't cheat. Don't like give yourself a billion damage. That's stupid. You're robbing yourself of the fun part, which is getting better and growing. Unless you cheat by pretending to be blindfolded, that's actually really funny, and everyone loves it when you do that in the Monster Hunter community. So if you're this far and you made it past the rambling and the yapping, and you're probably at least somewhat interested in where to start speedrunning Monster Hunter Wilds. Personally, I just like ramming my head into a wall until something breaks, but if that's not your style, there are numerous speedruns by super talented runners for whatever weapon you're interested in. I've left a link to at least one speedrunner for every Wilds weapon in the description. Don't ignore this part. Go watch one of them. At least one of them. If they don't blow you away, you can come back and complain. And if you're the type to learn from more direct means like a guide, there sadly aren't too many for speedrunning specifically. Yeah, there's a bunch of weapon guides, but not a whole lot of how to use the weapon when you only want to go fast guides, because it is a different thing. So I'm doing my best to learn each weapon thoroughly so I can eventually make a guide on them all. If that interests you at all, like and subscribe. Oh, I gotta rev the engine. Now you can like and subscribe. It's now. This is the plug. It's at the end of the video because it makes more sense to me. Because if you're this far into the video, you probably enjoy it, and it's a small channel, and YouTube doesn't recommend small channels unless you like and subscribe to them. So like and subscribe if you want to see me again, because YouTube won't do, and it's not gonna do it. Look, okay, that's the spiel. You know what to do. I'll also toss in a subscriber goal here. I mean, every time I've set one of these, it gets broken before I can actually do anything with it. So at 5K, I'll be doing a cooking special. I think that's funny. People like doing those. It's funny. I hope that's far enough away, though, because there's 30 recipes in this book, and I don't speak Japanese.